Private enterprise is returning to the World Trade Center here in New York City. And joining us now is Larry Silverstein. He's Silverstein CEO and is the owner of that property in Lower Manhattan. It's an honor to have you with us, Larry.
Thank you, Stuart.
Is that your greatest achievement? I mean, you've done New York real estate for decades.
For a long time.
Getting the Trade Center rebuilt is your biggest?
Yes, I'd say it's been the biggest challenge of my life. And it's only taken us 18 years to this point. We have another few years to go before we're finished.
But at first, when you built the first rebuilding of the tower, you couldn't get private enterprise in. It was government operations that went in because of the danger. Now, who've you got in now?
Actually, that wasn't the case.
Huh?
Fascinating. But the first building to go up was the last building to come down on 9/11.
Yep.
The old 7 World Trade Center. Because no lives were lost in that building, we had an opportunity to start that building first. And we did. In October of '02, we started construction of the new 7 World Trade Center. And by May of '06, we finished it. And the first tenants come into that building was Moody's, with 750,000 square feet of space. And once we signed the lease with Moody's, it wasn't difficult to lease the balance of the building. So we leased 1,700,000 square feet pretty rapidly to private enterprise. And good quality tenants, first-class tenants, who believed in what we told them, and that is that we were going to rebuild the World Trade Center. It was going to be better and bigger and finer than ever.
And there was no serious worry on the part of Moody's and others going back into the Trade Center buildings about security?
None.
None?
None at all.
They didn't voice their...
No, they certainly didn't voice it, but they also didn't execute that way. They signed leases for the entire building, long-term leases, and it just gave us a very positive boost.
Is it now back? Can you say that downtown is back fully?
Oh, downtown is back almost fully. The reason I say almost fully is that there are 2 buildings left in the Trade Center. The first is a performing arts center that Ronald Perlman funded for us, and that's a $400 million project, which by 2022 will be operational. And it'll be a performing arts center with a completely new venue for Lower Manhattan and for that part of the city, for any kind of performances you can request. And additionally, the last office building to go up in the Trade Center will be 2 World Trade Center. As soon as we find the occupant for that, we'll start that. And I'd say by 2022, we should be finished.
You know you have a reputation, don't you?
I hope a good one.
No. You have a reputation as being one of the most ferocious negotiators. You never back off, never back down, and you always get what you want.
Well, I tell you, that sounds,
take that.
That sounds like an undeserved.
So just so I'm told, Larry, that's what they tell me.
Okay.
So, bearing in mind that that is your... No, I know you're trying to get out of this.
No, it's okay.
That we're going to negotiate this interview. I insist on asking you what advice you would give to your fellow New York real estate developer and current President of the United States on how to negotiate. Well, Donald Trump.
I think he wrote the books on negotiation, so I would leave it to him to decide what's best for him to do.
Do you like him?
I've known him for many, many years, and he's a fun person, an interesting person. He's working assiduously to do what he thinks is right and to accomplish his goals.
Do you think he's right? Do you think his goals are right?
Well, we'll find out. I think that's going to be ascertainable in the next 2 years as to whether or not America feels that he's right or not.
Yeah, but what do you feel?
I think the public, well, I'd look to the public to see what they have to say.
You're determined not to. You really don't want to address Donald Trump, do you?
Well, I wish him the best of luck.
Well, he might call you after this, you know.
He might. We certainly know each other long enough.
But, OK, I have to ask you the obvious question. Do you approve of his presidency and his conduct of the presidency?
You know, there are so many aspects to the presidency of the United States. There are so many pressures on him. There are so many opposing issues. There are so many considerations that he's got to take account of. and look at very seriously. So is it an easy job? No, it's not. Is it difficult? Yes, it is. And I think with time, the American people will make a decision as to whether or not he's done the job that they approve of.
Larry Silverstein, that was absolutely a brilliant diplomatic answer, which was no answer at all, but it was really very good and well constructed there, I'd say. Larry Silverstein, it was fun. You have to admit it was fun. I mean, you're laughing, right? Congratulations on the Trade Center, though.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's an honor to have you on the show. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.